Forse avrete già visto il Solaris Power 48.
You may have already seen the Solaris Power 48 Open, a beautiful boat that has been very successful. This must have been the reason that prompted the shipyard to expand the range with this new model, the Solaris Power 44 Open.
Sì, però credo che abbiano fatto un errore, perché questo modello...
However, I think they made a mistake, because this model is just as beautiful, just as spacious, and could therefore compete with the larger model. The project is by the Victory design studio of Brunello Accompara. The designer went beyond traditional patterns and dared to shape the sides in a lively way, achieving a result that, in my personal opinion, is stunning. To the classic edge, which separates the side from the bottom, was added another one higher up, which will hardly be used in navigation but undoubtedly adds slenderness. Even more interesting is the opening of the airflow in the engine room, favoured by lines that would define as sensual. The 48-foot model was so popular among the public and critics that to avoid any possible mistakes, they replicated the same layout and managed to keep almost the same habitability, at least on deck. The secret lies in the slenderness that extends the sun deck, without lengthening the boat and without shortening the swimming platform. It's a real walk-around. There is no area that cannot be circumvented, and no matter where we move, we have two sides that protect us. The solid teak gunwale originates in the vertex and without interruption reaches the stern coaming. The sun deck at the bow is equipped with handrails so that, if conditions allow it, it can also be used during navigation. The sofa set here at the bow is a wonderful spot. Seen from above, you can grasp the beauty of the two-tone T-top, which matches the same colour as the hull and the upholstery. It's fully made in carbon, so it won't make the boat swerve, and it only needs one central support. In the cockpit, you can sit around the extendable table and, at the same time, lay down on the sun deck. The backrests of the sofa can be moved to also face forward. Below them are the lockers and refrigerators. The sides widen the deck area and also offer an extraordinary view of the water from the living area. Cooking here is a pleasure because we have a lot of space and all the appliances that we want. The helm station can hold 3 people on the 3 seats that can be transformed into backrests. The wide open space below deck is mainly due to the fact that it's located right at the maximum beam. At the bow we can have a double bed, as in this case, or a dinette with a table in the centre and sofas all around it, which obviously can be converted into a berth. Along the side, a piece of furniture whose top has a containment edge. In its place, it can possibly be replaced with a kitchen. On the other side, a little locker and a bathroom with a separate shower. Around the berth, there are well-lit storage compartments and other countertops. Towards the stern, on one side, there is another compartment with a double bed, and on the opposite side, there's a sofa. As an alternative, you could have 2 berths separated by a central hallway.
The Solaris Power
44 Open can be equipped with 3 different Volvo Penta IPS propulsion systems, the 500, the 600 or the 650. In reality, the propulsion is always the same. The diesel engine is always the D6, calibrated however with different powers. In this case, we have an IPS 650 with each engine running at 480 horsepower.
Avete mai pensato di navigare in dislocamento con una barca planante come questa?
Have you ever thought about navigating in displacement with a planing boat like this? Well, it is unusual, but I can tell you that this boat consumes just 1.2 litres per mile at a speed of 6.5 knots. The smoothness of the hull is an important issue for performance, but also for fuel consumption. I'm going to increase the thrust of the engines a little so to bring it into ploughing mode, but I won't insert the automatic trim control system.
Inserisco il sistema automatico di controllo dell'assetto.
Look at this beautiful wake. The boat is already in ploughing mode. We're at a speed of only 11 knots.
Per amor di precisione voglio dirvi che questo modello è stato equipaggiato con l'aria condizionata e il gruppo.
To be precise, I want to tell you that this model was equipped with air conditioning and a 7 kilowatt generator. This just to give you an idea of the weight we have on board right now. The whole crew of the boat show is here. There are 5 of us in total, and we have a full tank of fuel as well. During the transition from planing to cruising speeds, I switch on the automatic trim control and let the interceptors reach about 70–80% of their stroke. This way the hull is stretched on the water in an optimal way.
80% della loro corsa, in questa maniera lo scafo è steso sull'acqua in maniera ottimale. Stiamo navigando a 17 nodi, il consumo di 3,6 litri per mille.
We're sailing at 17 knots, consumption 3.6 litres per mile. I want to give you some information regarding the construction quality of the Solaris shipyard. The shipyard has recently entered the world of motorboats, although it has a huge experience when it comes to sailing boats, which have also been used in ocean crossings. So they know what they're doing.
Quello che fanno. Per farci navigare nella maniera più
In order to make us navigate in the most comfortable way possible, the automatically adjusted interceptors continue to keep the bow low. But I actually believe that in these conditions it's not necessary. So I deactivate the automatic mode and drive it manually. I pull up the blades so that you have no resistance and to give you better consumption data. With that sharp bow, the movement on the wave is super smooth. I passed over the wakes of a couple of boats which raised a wave of considerable proportions, yet I didn't feel any impact. Our speed is 20 knots and we're consuming 4 litres per mile.
Il 44 rispetto al 48 è una barca un po' più sportiva. Guardate come cambia rapidamente.
Look at how quickly the direction changes. The control is absolutely simple and easy.
Semplice, facile.
And speaking of navigation comfort, let's check out some data related to the noise.
Rumorosità. Keep in mind that we are outdoors with a windshield that also lets a lot of airflow into the cockpit. Angolo di sbandata e raggio di virata sono stati volutamente limitati. Heel angle and turning radius have been deliberately limited to offer a feeling of total safety, even if you go very fast and give it all the bar. È fatta per il This boat has been designed to appreciate cruising and to enjoy driving it, without any stress and any difficulty. The conditions today make everything easier, so it won't be hard to go full throttle. Wow, what a sudden shot. There you go. I told you it's sporty. Esce tutta dall'acqua, si appoggia appena a prua. It all comes out of the water, barely leaning forward, but the hull, especially in the sections furthest from the centre of the V-shape, dry out so it can run fast. nelle vetture di crociera il consumo era intorno ai 4 litri per miglio, adesso al
If at cruising speed the consumption was around 4 litres per mile, now at most we are just 5 litres per mile. You can therefore afford to make a long crossing without too many worries about autonomy. And the top speed is 36.5 knots.
Solaris Power 40.
I believe that Solaris Power 44 Open is one of the most beautiful and elegant boats of this segment, and I also like it a lot in navigation.